when somebody pays you for your expertise, like your mind, it just hits a little bit different. I still remember the first split payment I got. It was $22.50, and I was like, damn.
Yo, Jaf, what we doing today?
Hey man, we filming some videos for Unlock the Combo Consulting. We're gonna do a quick testimonial from our good friend Mckelary, Instagram, boom, right there, on how we implemented a new offer and we're 10xing what he did last month. Whatever workflows, transparency stuff, you guys get to see and understand firsthand and implement those nuggets into your guys' daily business. What's going on YouTube? We are back with a new video. We got Kell right here. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and then we'll dive a bit deeper into what we got going on today.
Yo, what's good? My name is Kell. I originally moved out to California to play college basketball. Dropped out when I started my clothing brand, kind of had my back against the wall. And then recently I just started consulting this past month. And that's what Jaf here helped me with the UTC consulting, just getting my offer together. So a lot has changed in the last month, all for the better. And yeah, we're about to dive into it.
Why did you want to be in the clothing brand space and what pointed you in that direction?
Yeah, when it comes to clothing brands, we both have our fair share of experiences.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as stereotypical as possible, you know, ex-college athlete, then starts a clothing brand. Well, I started my clothing brand, to be specific, while I was still playing basketball actively, and I just didn't feel like I had enough time to really pursue it because of school and getting good grades and like the practice schedule, game schedule, etc. But I always knew that I wanted to do some type of entrepreneurship. And honestly, clothing was just the most accessible. You know, it's something that people wear every day. There's a lot of good highlights about it. Like, oh, I started a brand, I made this amount. Oh, I did this. But for me, looking back, and I'll be honest, it wasn't something that I really should have done. I didn't have a passion for clothes. I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't know where to start. So that led to me burning so much money the first 2 years just to get that experience. And then when we thought about the consulting and first started brainstorming, I realized like, hey, a lot of people probably feel the same way, but I would like to save them the time of wasting. I think I wasted close to like $30,000, bad manufacturers, not having a brand identity, etc. But more importantly, I wasted the time. Who knows where I could have been if I would have had the right blueprint at the start instead of having to find it myself after 2 to 3 years of kind of being in the trenches with it and not being profitable. But I just knew like I didn't like having a ceiling on what I could earn, like having a set amount. It's like no matter what you do, no matter how good you are, this is what it is. And I felt the same way with basketball, especially at those higher levels. And, you know, a lot of more politics go into it. It's like, hey, it doesn't matter how good you are or whatever, like you got to fit in the system and this is like what it's going to be. And for me, it's like, I think that was a calling to entrepreneurship. Like there's no cap on it. Like, yeah, you can fall right on your face to the ground, but you can also make as much money as you can. You're able to make money, live on your own terms, provide for the people that you love compared to just putting points on the board.
All right, Kell, so you already had a personal brand and we talked about, hey, what are the different routes we could do? We looked at scaling the company itself, but what made you want to be like, hey, I want to work with Unlock the Combo and presenting an offer or start going down the consulting route? What made you want to go down that?
I mean, in terms of like the clothing space, like deep in it, I run my brand Uniform Garments full time, looking to actually continue to scale that, build out a team. But it's a long-term game. You know, I'm in that for 5-10 years. It doesn't really matter. But of course, with products and sampling and, you know, drops and whatever, like we're talking about like 2 to 3 month turnaround time. So like,
and
what could I do?
You're capped unless you're like a Virgil or a Pharrell or something like that.
So it's like, what could I do in the meantime? Because I have all the faith in the world that Uniform will continue to scale 7 figures and 8 figures. But the 10 years for right now or the 5 years for right now, what to do? So that's when we talked whiteboard session and just previous talks as well about being able to monetize like your mind and your experience, like the same thing we talked about. So, hey, I went ahead and got the scars. I went ahead and wasted the money. I went ahead and sat on the sidelines for 2 years, 3 years, overthinking, and then also just kind of getting my ass handed to me because I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm like, hey, if I can save people the time and, you know, the wasted money and provide them a blueprint that actually works, then I'm all for it.
You started first with, was this even able to be applied to what's going on in your audience? I think that was the biggest thing. Kell had a lot of, I wouldn't say doubt around it, but was wondering that, hey, would this fit to who my audience is? And does this look like either I'm selling out or, hey, I want to focus on giving a positive impact to the people. And by you having a brand, you're kind of having a glass ceiling for certain stuff. And that's where like, hey, we want to have a positive impact. And Kell has a huge community on TikTok and Instagram. So I think from there, we're able to see that, okay, this offer could be plausible. This could be the system and this could be the funnel to where it looks like, okay, this guy's not just some other course seller or
Facts.
doing some cash grab, but hey, this is real value, real systems, because you've been there, I've been there, trying to start building something or building a community from nothing. There's no roadmap for it.
Facts. Yeah, 100%, bro. The biggest thing we talked about at the beginning, like, was intention. And, you know, there's a lot of bad actors in the info space, consulting space, etc. Like, the space is pretty tainted with a bad reputation of people just trying to get rich, selling kind of just air or chat GPT courses or whatever. So for me, it's like I didn't want to be grouped in that category, obviously, but also too, just like who I am morally, my background, whatever. Like, I don't want to put my name behind something and it's not good, you know, and it's not valuable. Just that intention was the biggest thing, and really wanted to provide a service that was also worth my time as well. It was tough. The low ticket seemed like the easiest way to get into it, building the community and all that, but anything that I would sell for $300, I would just rather give away for free, you know? So I think that also speaks to like, hey, this isn't a cash grab, which is why I only took on 5 to 6 clients for this first round, just to make sure the fulfillment is there and that people are actually getting value and getting results. Whereas 100 people plus filled out the application form that I had. So if it was really about the money, would have just sold them $500, $1,000 course. Hey, cool. But it's like, I felt like that was shorting myself. 5 years of experience for $500 just, you know, wasn't really fair to me, but also too, it's like, hey, I get it. Like, this is a huge investment. So if you're putting that money up with me, like, it needs to work, you know, they got to put the work in, but it needs to be of substance for sure. So when Jaf came along, it was like, yo, you can still look good, still look cool, still build your personal brand and not oversell it. I think that's what made me want to work with him over anybody else, because he actually understood my pain points. And, you know, keeping the personal brand intact is everything, especially going forward. I couldn't preach that and then, you know, destroy my own personal brand in the process for some quick money. So, yeah.
You want to tell the people where we were at about a month ago, where your kind of headspace was at, and what's changed to where we're at now?
Yeah, 100%. So we linked up about 3 weeks ago at Jaf's office. It was a whole night routine. We started at 9 o'clock, got some dinner, and we went all the way to 4 o'clock in the morning in the office. I actually made a video on my TikTok. I said, we're not leaving until we make $1 million. Not literally, but just like an idea that would generate over $1 million. So haven't touched that yet, but definitely on the right track. So basically we went over just getting into consulting. You know, he's been doing the consulting for a minute. I was learning from him. You know, I definitely look up to him in different business aspects for sure. We talked about my offer, just like what I can do to generate more money, and also how to sell the experience that I have when it comes to running a clothing brand, because I've been in the game for 5 years, taking a lot of losses, and I think that I can package that information and help somebody else. And like I said, I was thinking low ticket at first, build a community. The hesitation for that over the past year was like, anything I would sell for $100 a month, I would rather just give it to you for free. So I think him helping me just see the bigger picture and go for high ticket clients, you know, because those are better clients to work with. And now I see that after, you know, vetting a lot of people, like that really helped me. And I think that's the biggest thing too with consulting in general. Like, it's sometimes like not like what you don't know. Like, people aren't really giving you sauce that you've never heard of in your entire life, but it's the structure and how he structured it for me in that 3-hour session we had. I mean, yeah, we're homies, but not a lot of people, bro, are gonna sit here and just work on your business for 3-4 hours until you get to the result you want. And I think that just speaks like the level of intention he has in his program.
After we sort of did the whiteboard talk and kind of structured it out, I kind of showed, all right, here are the funnels, here we're going to lay this out, here's going to be the content rollout, and how we're going to start teasing the offer. How did that sort of structure help you in being like, okay, this is how we're going to do it?
Yeah, it helped me a lot because I'm new to this game, and seeing him, especially the people that he surrounds himself with who are doing ridiculous numbers, bro. 100K a month, 500K a month. A couple guys, you know, are hitting $1 million a month in the consulting
I know
space.
a couple guys hitting $5 million a week.
Yeah, I know, bro. So just ridiculous shit. So I'm like, yo, I'm all ears. So I think how he structured it for me, and like I said, first of all, the length, the time length, like 4 in the morning, game planning, that's rare to find somebody to do that. But also to how he structured it. And for me with the rollout, I didn't want to be too hard salesy wise, which is why I didn't even post anything about it. Like, I made no posts on my feed about the offer. And that's something that he told me to do. He brought in the story sequences. That's something I've never heard of up until we talked about it. I just put different story sequences and different things, addressing pain points and kind of like soft launching it. And then I immediately had that redirected to a Typeform application that kind of vetted people and tagged them, like if they're a high client lead or low client lead. That system and that back end is completely what changed the game for me versus like if I would have just made a post or two about it, it would have came off as very salesy and then just having a lot of people who weren't qualified just DMing me, that would have kind of been a shit show for lack of better words. So having him really structure that out with the proper websites, you know what I'm saying, the proper funnels and all that, that changed the game for me and allowed me to collect about $18,000 in 3 days.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where now you have the right tools, and Unlock the Combo was sort of able to structure that out for you, whether it's the landing page, what type of questions to ask, do drop down instead of fill out answers.
Yeah.
We get real specific with a lot of it. And that's where Kell was able to work alongside one-on-one with us. And we really dove deep into the offer with true intention of, hey, we don't want to cook his personal brand and just sort of slut it out that, hey, now it's a info and this guy's doing cash grab, but really present it in a way where it's knowledgeable, it's real, and now you can see the results. Because the biggest thing that we're trying to showcase, both of us wish we had something like this when we first started.
I think it's worth having that opportunity out there because I know for me, I paid for courses, you know, and they helped set me up. Like I paid for an ads course back in 2021. I made over $250,000 just using Facebook ads.
And how much was that course?
Bro, it was my whole bank account. It was 5 racks and it was a Black Friday deal for $2,500. And I had $2,680 in my account from working for the summer. I spent it all. Like,
well, that goes to tell you 2,500 into $250,000. You can do the math on that. All right, we had enough discussion about service level. Let's get straight to it. And I want to have the people get some gems here. What's one gem that you would sort of give free game that is like a life hack or opened so many doors for you when you started doing this one thing?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'd like to give a tactical example or some game on that, the biggest thing right now in terms of opportunity is personal branding. A lot of people are coming to me. It doesn't matter if they already have an established brand where they're making $50K a month with their clothing brand or somebody brand new, literally no followers, no brand, no money coming in or anything. Everybody has the same question, which is how do I build the personal brand and convert that attention and that audience into cash? I mean, me and Rube just shot a video with my first mentee, Aston, who did a little under $1 million in a year at 20 years old. We went to the same college. Yes, I gave him the blueprint and a lot of stuff that helped him on his journey. But the biggest thing that we talked about and that he executed on, which I have to tip the hat, is the personal brand side. He started uploading 3 TikTok videos a day. I think 4 videos, bro, out of the 1,000 he's made got over 100K views.
I mean, we talked about it too. That's what's going to separate you from product to, hey, connection.
Yeah, but that's community too, though, because it's like a lot of content gurus would tell you like you should be striving for views or going viral, and that just proved it wasn't about virality. It was about we got 3,000 views on this video, but when you do that 2 or 3 times a day and multiply that by 6 months, then you get results like that. But the biggest thing is like you don't have to just be in the clothing brand industry to make money like that or to convert an audience like that. It's so much bigger than just clothes. But yeah, that would be my answer with the personal brand. I'm sure you see the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, personal brand too is great. Like that's where I sort of unintentionally have built my own personal brand in that aspect. From reselling sneakers to clothing brand to cars to now anything and everything that I've sort of worked with. We work with a lot of CPG companies now, service-based businesses. We met with a client actually this morning and we were going over their consultation to get them started for a new retainer. And they had mentioned to us that their parent company had did 24 million take home last year. So now they're opening this new sector. Yeah. But the biggest thing that they're now understanding is that money doesn't always necessarily buy you access. I've been in a lot of rich circles from cars to oil business. I've seen a lot of different realms. And the biggest thing is that access is not always brought to you by money, but more from connections and from word of mouth. Yeah. And especially as you climb up the ranks, you start to see that.
Yeah.
Now, okay, of course, is money a factor? Yeah. Is your background a factor? Is other things a factor? For sure. But the biggest thing is having access.
And a lot of times I think now it's digital. If you have a strong TikTok or a strong IG, now like people are following you and like they have respect for you and they want to invite you to things. So for example, like over the past 3 or 4 years, I've been doing personal brand content. It started with just college basketball stuff and I was the first person on TikTok to do vlogs as a college athlete. That got me like views and audience, whatever, but it also got me brand deals. So I was able to make 30K, 40K in brand deals, which was huge because I was
as a college athlete, bro,
half the year in Iowa.
Stipend, that's what I'm saying. The stipend might be 2K.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So that's like, that was huge. And like I worked with Adidas, Dick's Sporting Goods, like going to Nike headquarters tomorrow, which I'm super excited for. Like, that's a crazy opportunity. But it came from one of my homies throwing me a lob, putting my name in with them, and they liked my personal brand. And you know, they're like, hey, come out, we're gonna ask you some questions, interview about performance goods or something like that. So that's just sick. But like money couldn't buy me that. Like I couldn't go to Nike's headquarters and give them $10,000 to let me in and like, you know, ponder and shake hands. That only came from them already liking the stuff that I'm putting out. I don't know who said it, but I read it and I was like, wow, that's genius. They're like, by 2030, 2040, like you're either a media company or an AI tech company. Like that's pretty much it. And it's like everything's transitioning to media. Every person is their own media company. So it's like, why would you not go for it? Like posting content, like everybody has a phone. It doesn't cost you anything. So we're talking about ROI. There's no bigger, higher ROI than doing this. Like,
well, let's ask people this. What's one thing that AI can't do? AI now has learned so much, and it's only going to continue to get better. But what's one thing that they can't do?
Can't replicate you, bruh. Can't replicate. Like if you have the sauce and you have,
hey, you can make an AI clone of yourself.
Well, that's true.
But the personal brand and the biggest thing that I'm just kind of referring to is community.
Yeah.
Like you can have an AI influencer. She can have 1 million followers, but if she does a real life meet and greet, who's going to show up? Yeah. Who's going to be here?
100%.
I mean, you might get a Tesla robot and like do a face swap or something like that.
Shit,
but at the end of the day, that's where technology can be a tool for that.
More than ever right now, people are buying from people. And I think that's just the sum of it. So if you're not posting content, you're not building that community online and then moving it into real life, I really don't know what you're doing. It's just, I mean, you can make it, but like I tell the clients that I'm working with or prospective clients, it's like, bro, you're playing a media game, you're playing a content game, you're playing a community building game. It doesn't really matter what the product is.
I know you've seen 20K before, but now how did it feel seeing that money come so quickly with the amount of work that you did versus like all the work of packing orders and doing everything like the blue collar way versus now doing this on this side?
Yeah, it was definitely different, bro. I've seen a lot of big numbers before, but when somebody pays you for your expertise, like your mind, it just hits a little bit different. I still remember the first split payment I got. It was $22.50. And I was like, damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody just paid for my expertise. Like that's kind of crazy. And you know, it just inspires me to go harder. But once again, I realize long term, I'm not going to be around if I'm just excited for, you know, big numbers coming my way. It's all about the fulfillment. So for me, it was like cool. It was great. It was a lot easier than a product brand for sure. But also at the same time, like, hey, now it's just like me fulfilling. And that's what's going to separate me from the rest of the crowd.
For me personally, that's where I've seen the ability to now grow so much further and faster due to this knowledge side and understanding the consulting realm. If you have a clothing brand, you can do what? 1 drop a month?
Yeah.
Maybe 2?
Yeah.
Versus now on the consulting side, how many people can you help in a week?
Yeah, I think it's also the impact and what you're hinting at too. Like, I don't know if there's a better feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's dope seeing somebody wear clothes.
Yeah, the numbers are like, always cool, but okay,
damn, the impact was like,
the impact, seeing sort of where people can sort of take it.
Yeah,
that's definitely a dope factor.
That's real world impact, and it's hard to replicate that. For me, at least with like the clothes, like yeah, it's still cool seeing somebody wear it, but like that's real shit, bro. That's real shit.
No, that's dope. All right, my boy, that was enough politicking for the people. Appreciate you pulling up, talking about your story, talking about what's going on, and hopefully you guys got some gems. Whatever else you guys need, check out Unlock the Combo and check out all of Kell's socials. Go get you some from that uniform drop.
Got to.